Shalom, all praise, honor, and glory, and fear to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Hawakai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there. I wanted to do a quick video because I've been seeing a lot of division amongst nationalities, ethnicities, and races, man. You've been seeing a lot of separation and tension, racial tension. Besides the fact that the police killing Jake left and right, you're seeing, you know, stupid Edomite women calling police on people barbecuing in the park, and that park that's legal to do. You've seen Asian dudes um, holding and jumping on Judite women, and from what I see, it was warranted, but it um, still goes into the same concept of racial tension. I can go on and on of different things that's going on. As far as police officers, as far as them basically they've always not treated Jake equally, but it's being magnified on a large scale, time after time. And then also you're seeing, Jake's getting into fights, with other you know races out there, and it's all part of biblical prophecy because the scriptures go into the fact that there's going to be race riots. So I just wanted to touch on a few scriptures that edify us of the fact that they're going to be race riots. So that's why you have this racial tension, which is another reason why um, it was the Most High's will that Donald Trump be anointed as the leader of this land, as the king of this land, as the president of the United States. And since he's gotten there, he's been doing nothing but showing different race, making racial remarks, to stir up racial tension. And since he's been in there, these Edomites have been bold as hell since then. So the first scripture I want to bring out is Zechariah 12:1. It says, "The burdens of the word of the Lord for Israel, said the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens and layeth the foundations of the earth, and formeth the spirit of men with them." So the Most High is the one. He's responsible for all these. Verse 2: "Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about." So Israel scattered amongst all the nations. So the Most High says he's going to make Jerusalem a trembling unto all the people around about. So what does that is? That's stirring up racial tension, racial riots. And the Most High said he's going to make Jerusalem make these other nations tremble. It says when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. Judah representing the southern kingdom, Jerusalem represents the northern kingdom. So as a whole, from northern and southern kingdom, the Most High is going to make the whole nation of Israel trembling unto these other nations that they're scattered amongst. Verse 3: "And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, and all that burden themselves with with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it." So that means that these other nations are going to be against Jerusalem, going to be against Israel. But the Most High is going to be with Israel. He's going to make them a burdensome stone, and try breaking a stone, try hurting a stone. If you try to do anything to hurt a stone, it's really not going to hurt the stone, because it's just going to. If you were to break a stone in pieces, you would just basically break it up to another hard stone. So the Most High is going to be with the nation of Israel. The next scripture I want to get into is in Zechariah also, because Zechariah goes hard on the race riots. This is Zechariah 9:12. It says, "Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even to the day do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bowl with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion." So the Most High is saying he's going to use the nation of Israel, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, as a weapon. Because what is a bow? A bow and arrow is a weapon, and you shoot it. So the Most High said that Judah is going to be filled the bow with Ephraim. So that means Judah is going to be the bow, and Salakia, Judah is going to be the arrow, and Drew and Ephraim, which Ephraim represents the southern kingdom, they're gonna be the bow. So I'm gonna read that again. It says, when I bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim. So basically, Judah is gonna be the bow, and Ephraim, the southern kingdom, is gonna be the arrow. And raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. So the sons of Greece represent Esau. They were the Greeks. They're so the sons of Greece is talking about the so-called white man that the Bible speaks of, which is the wicked today, you Edomites. Verse 14: And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as a lightning, and the Lord power shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. The Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as though wine, and they shall be filled like bowls. So like, and as the corner of the altar. And the Lord their power shall save them in that day as the flock of his people. So it doesn't matter what goes on during these race riots, even though we already read that the Most High says is going to be with Israel. These other nations ain't going to get the best of Israel, even though they're already training, and these Edomites are going to the gun ranges. They're the ones in these UFC in these local gyms that you see that are MMA and these UFC different local gyms. I see them all around. You see them all over. It'd be Edomites in there and these other nations in there. They're preparing for this. They see this. Jake want to dance and Jake want to act stupid, but the Most High still gonna be with you because you His chosen people. It says, "For they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon this land. For for how great is His goodness, and how great is His beauty! Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids." So the Most High is going to be with the nation of Israel, because in the end, that's His chosen people, and that's who the kingdom of heaven is for. Is Yahweh Shai's kingdom that is built for the nation of Israel. This is Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, and the 30. I'm gonna start at 30. It says, "And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth." Because this is going to be this is one of the things that's going to be happening. There's um, several different prophecies that are taking place. That's going to take place leading up to when Yahweh Shai come back, and this is one of them. The race riots is one of them, but this is going to be one of the astonishments that's going to come. There's going to be plenty of prophecies that's going to take place that we know. If you're in the knowledge and you in the truth, you know that these things to look for because they're going to become. But there's things that people that are in the world that they have no idea what we're heading into, have no idea what the prophecies are, But they're going to see these things. It's going to be an astonishment to them because we live in a world where everybody's trying to get along, but you can't help but see all the different racial tensions that's coming on, all the people that are going against each other. Verse 31, it says, "And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." So let's go into that. Let's dissect that. So you're going to have one sector of people, one race of people, that's going to undertake to fight against another race of people. Now, this can even go into twofold, because you may have a different class of people. You may have a lower class of people will set out to fight against the middle class or the upper class, and vice versa. You know, so you have two different ways to look at it right there. But people tend to join with their own people, their own kind. You can have two people that are middle class, but they're not gonna want to sit next. They're not gonna want to stand next to another middle class person that's not of their ethnicity or their race. They're gonna want to go with their own race. So you're gonna have one race of people against another race of people. You have one city against another city. You might have a poor city against a rich city, or people within those cities going against people against another city. Then you're gonna have one people against another people, which is that's the solidification of the race riots. one people, one race of people going against another race of people. Then you have one realm against another realm. So you have Yahushua coming from the spiritual realm, and then you're going to have Esau and the other nations that are going to get together and fight against Yahushua and the holy angels, the Lord of hosts. That's one realm against another realm. Verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed before thee, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. So, like I said, when Yahweh comes from the spiritual realm, the fourth dimension, which is the spiritual realm, comes into the third dimension, which is this realm, the realm of what we live in, they're gonna fight against them. But that's when Yahushua is gonna be declared, and to get the fullness. I don't want to go into that because I want to stick to the topic that I'm on. But if you read Second Ezra 13th chapter, it breaks this whole sequence down. This whole this whole occurrence of the scripture speaking of now is all written in the 13th chapter of Second Ezra. Verse 33, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So these people fighting against each other, because at that time you're going to be having other prophecies taking place. You're going to have, Russia, China, Iran going against United States and Israel, and then you're going to have all the other nations that's going to shoot missiles on the United States. All these things are going to be taking place, but they're going to stop their battle within one another, and they're going to try to come against Yahushua and the angels. In verse 34, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, will to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Sion, and Sion shall be so like and Sion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments whitherwith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and shall be destroyed, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which like unto me. Which that's what the Most High likes. Yahweh shall come and destroy them, and taking the crowns off the other nations, off the kings of the earth, which is the prime ministers, presidents, and rulers of these other nations, and basically destroying all these nations, putting them in subjection, and basically ushering into the kingdom of heaven, which is to be ruled by the Israelites. The next scripture is quick and to the point, but it's precise. This is Second Ezra 15. I'm starting at verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world." Actually, I'm gonna start up a little bit. I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it." So those are the different plagues that the Most High is going to bring, which are also prophecies. Famines, pestilence, diseases. You're going to have, invading of people getting their houses invaded. Women are going to be ravished. Children are going to be put to death. This is going to be a horrific time. And also, of course, the race riots. Verse 13, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation. Woe unto the world, and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For they shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to have, when these race riots kick off, they're not going to care what the hell their mayor is saying. They're not going to care what their president is saying. They're not going to care what the local police department is saying or the military. They're not going to care what's being said. They're going to go. They're going to go and they're going to fight against one another, and then they're going to go invade people trying to get food for the lack of the bread. And it tells you that. If you keep reading, matter of fact, I'll just read it. Verse 17: A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses and the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and the great tribulation. So when these things take place, people ain't gonna care that they kids had sleepovers and birthday parties together and barbecues, and they didn't give a damn about any of that. You got food and I need it, and they gonna go get it. So I said spoiling their goods. So upon this happening, race riots are gonna be going on. You're gonna have people teaming up with people that look like them, that are of their race, and they're gonna be fighting against each other. But see, Israel is scattered amongst all nations. So you're gonna have Israelites that are looking like the other nations. When you're gonna say, "Damn, how is this person looking white? Why is he with these group of black men or these group of black and Hispanic men?" It's because their spirit, that's an Israelite. Because this race thing is gonna be a ethnicity thing. It's gonna be the spirit of what spirit are you? Are you an Israelite? Are you a Moabite? Are you an Ammonite? Are you a Edomite? That's what it's going to be based off. See, ain't nobody going to go off of what Esau's telling people who they are. It's going to be spiritual. The last scripture I want to go into is Ezekiel 25:12. It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom had dwelt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and had greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword." These are Edomites. "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel." So like I said, you're going to have Israelites that's going to look like Edomites and going to put their hand against the heads of Edomites, because it's a spiritual thing. They're going to be Israelites that are looking like the other nations. They're going to help uh, uh, bring the Most High's vengeance against Edom. It says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury." And that's the beautiful part about it, because we can't get angry enough. We don't have the vengeance of the Most High. So he's going to pour his spirit upon the Israelites to bring forth his judgment at his level of anger, at his measure of fury, not ours. And you're going to have Israelites that are going to be stomping out to death little Edomite babies. We don't have that anger and fury upon us to do that. But we need the spirit of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai to place upon our people that will carry out this judgment. It says, "And they shall know my vengeance," saith the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power, because the Philistines have dealt by vengeance, and have taken vengeance with a despiteful heart to destroy it for the old hatred. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will stretch out mine upon the Philistines, and will cut off the Cherethims, and destroy the remnant of the sea coast. And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebuke, and they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. And this is the other nations are going to get the same execution of vengeance upon them that Edom is going to get. But Edom's going to get it worse than them. So with that, all the things that are been happening in the news, and it's been going on across the country and across the world, It's all biblical prophecy. We look at these things that are taking place, and yeah, of course, it pisses you off. It makes you mad when you see, even though our people, we as Israelites deserve everything that the Most High brings our way, but it still makes you mad. You still hate to look and see how Edomites get away with being as racist as they want to be, and nasty as they want to be. Other nations are getting in on this, and you see it happening, all over. You see it happening all over, but you know, at the same time, we know that it's biblical prophecy. So with that, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai with fear, Ba'Shem Hawakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, and peace, love, and salutation and safety to the hopeful elect. Shalom.